Day 11 of my 31 Days of Horror has some pretty cool exploitation here. And actually it's a pretty good pedigree. It is Robert Klaus's Deadly Eyes. And before you ask, yes, I mean the guy that did Enter the Dragon, Robert Klaus, made this exploitation film, Deadly Eyes. And for me here, there's a lot of people that I know, as in like a lot of Canadian actors in that. But there's a lot of big actors in this one here as well. Scatman Crothers that just came off The Shining when he made this film here in Toronto, Dead Eyes. We have Lisa Langlis, who you've seen. Trust me, you've seen her in a lot of stuff. But more than likely, Class of 1984 is probably the one that you remember her from. Sarah Botsworth is acting in a ton of stuff. You've more than likely seen her in something like NCIS or Sliders, one of those programs. I'm Canadian, so I've seen her in a I was an ex-journalist, so I saw her in a series called ENG, which was actually a journalism type of kind of like soap opera sort of that came out in Canada back at exactly the time that I started going to journalism school. And there's a ton of great actors in this one here, kind of like character actors that I've seen in a bunch of Canadian stuff. Now, right off, right at the start here, before I get into this, this has quite the pedigree. The guys that worked on the rats in this film here worked on movies like David Fincher's Aliens 3. So, yeah, this was their first, pretty much their start. But, damn, apparently James Herbert wrote a book called The Rats. And although it says it was based on the novel The Rats, the writer, the screenwriter of it, Charles Igley, never actually saw or never actually read the book. So this was kind of pretty much his own take. When he was doing this movie, he was on like working. I think it was a production assistant on a movie called Piranha, and which is a kind of a cool Roger Corman film. If you haven't seen it, you really should. There's a sequel of it too. And of course, there's the remakes recently. But he kind of wanted to do that same type of feel for the Rats film. Basically, there was an idiotic like mayor type character, and he would be putting off like a big social event that a lot of people would be coming to, and one person would know that there was something horrifying going on, and no one will believe him. So like Jaws, like Piranha, that type of thing, and that's what this is. Deadly Eyes actually is much more ballsier than a lot of those films because right at the beginning of the film, you know this is not your average film. You know this. All bets are off. And how do we know this early on? Basically, because and I guess I'm gonna spoil this opening part for you. There's a scene at the beginning of this film where there's a bunch of teenagers hanging around in a pretty much just hanging out, and then they all take off except for like one girl and her baby. And she's feeding her baby, and she was off to say goodbye to her friends. And when she goes, we see the rat like come after, like go at the child a bit, but the child's up in a high chair. So usually what happens is like it'll be like that fake out thing, where they'll damn the child was in danger, and to come back and either the mom will get killed and the child will be left on their own, like you've seen in many episodes of Criminal Minds, or basically you'll that'll just be one of those fake outs, and then she'll take the baby, and then we'll see somebody else getting killed somewhere else. Not in the case of this movie, no. In the case of this movie, when she goes back, the high chair is knocked over, and she follows what literally is a trail of like blood, soaked blood, until we just find the child's clothes, basically remains of the clothes, blood-soaked clothes. And at that point, you realize, shit, anything can happen in this movie. There is no taboo, like no person that is safe. Animals, kids, doesn't matter. Star, somebody you like, anybody can die. And it's kind of refreshing, actually. The rats themselves were actually there were Dachshunds and terriers, a couple other types of dogs that were put in rat suits. And as cheesy as it does look, even especially today, this was done like I think in '81. This is '82 here, but I'm pretty sure that like it was filmed in '81. It came out in '82. it's effective. The long tails like the rats have, they were actually done really well in the film, and they're utilized extremely well as they kind of like as the rats go over like bodies and stuff. The tail kind of just follows and kind of slides over, and extreme. I found it extremely creepy. Uh, the rat noises themselves were horrifying, and it did freak me out. I'm not gonna lie to you, this movie did freak me out. Uh, a lot of people came over to Canada to make horror films because back in the day, Canada would fund a lot of these movies through basically through grants and such. And even today, if you went and watched The Editor, which is done by Astron 6 here in Canada, then you'll see that the funding is partially by Telefilm Canada. So even as of today, we still do fund horror and well, a lot of different pictures, but horror is cheap to fund and actually can have big profits. So Canada's always been big on like funding horror films. But we even did like there's a big like brouhaha back in the day. Look where your look where your tax dollars are going. And it'd show like other films on there. But damn, yeah, I'm proud Canadian about that type of thing. The movie freaked me out. I'm not gonna lie. I was watching this and I was talking to the guys on my on the phone, and I was like, oh my god, the rats ate the baby. I can't believe the rats ate the baby. This is terrifying. And I kept on watching, and there's rat noises are going through it. And I'm like, this is actually for a silly like giant rat film with dogs dressed as rats. There's some pretty horrific scenes. A lot of people are going to find this extremely cheesy. I really did love this one. I do think this is one of the the sexier covers that Scream Factory has ever put out. This is like the original poster art here. Tonight they will rise from the darkness beneath the cities to feed. This terrifies me because this is something basically that can, I guess, sort of happen. All it is basically is there's this like horrible grain that's been brought in. It's been pumped full of steroids. The guy's been told to get rid of it, and well, rats, steroids, grain, yeah, they're huge, and they eat people. Leslie Donaldson is in this, who was in, of course, Happy Birthday to Me and Curtains, and Lisa Langlois was pretty much she was an Av actually working with her and working with someone her own age. There's a really kind of a creepy scene in the theater, and I was really into the film. I was really got myself in. I actually got myself really invested in this film. I guess I should have saw it coming, but I was just like watching the movie and going with the flow of things. And there's a scene where a guy kind of reaches in to go for popcorn, and damn, rat attack, and I'm like, shit, because I thought the rats were in a different area. But then you hear like as he's going in the car, the hero, you hear him talking about like, okay, this hospital, there's attack at hospital, there's attack at theater, and the subway that's coming. Basically, his son is gone with this girl that he likes into played by Sarah Botsford, and she actually has the nude scene in the film. I was really surprised because she's a very accomplished stage actress. She's done like a lot of stage stuff. She's done like a lot of TV work as well, but she's mostly she's famous for a lot of the stage work she does, and she's really accomplished actress and extremely beautiful lady, and it was really great seeing her in this one. I expected to come on here and just say, oh, I was kind of bored, or I just found it super cheesy. But I actually really did like this film. I think this one is on the, correct me if I'm wrong, I think this is part of the Shocktober sale in the Stone Cold deals. And I recommend it. I really strongly do recommend this film. If you haven't checked it out, Deadly Eyes is actually a really fun film. We got a great cast. It runs 87 minutes long, so it doesn't have any time for any like filler. Basically, it's a lean film. It cuts right to the quick of it. If you don't mind films like that get pretty brutal, the kid dies. Kid dies. All bets are off on who's going to live and who's going to die, and this type of thing. And has a bit of a twist to the end, which I thought was really good. So if you haven't seen it, I do recommend picking up the Blu-ray DVD combo pack. It came out from Scream Factory. Deadly Eyes. It's a fantastic little film. Thanks for watching, guys. For me right now, it's late, but I still gotta have that cup of tea, so it is time for tea. Say hello to my sleeping cat, Smokey, my sleeping better half, and I'm putting on my shoes before I go across the kitchen because killer rats. That's what I'm just saying. Killer rats. Yeah, freaked me out. I am Aaron. I am out of here, and I'm probably gonna be up for a while. Have a great night.